Good evening. Tonight we journey into the fascinating, terrifying, and oddly mundane world of Vladimir Putin. This is a man who rides bears, right? Not really. But the myths and legends surrounding him are as grand as the Russian landscape itself. But he does seem to live a life shrouded in secrecy and extravagance. From the opulent halls of the Kremlin to his private residences, everything about him exudes power and mystery. Let's start with his morning. The dawn breaks over Moscow, but for Putin, the day begins at a more leisurely pace. Apparently, Putin isn't exactly a morning person. Shocking, we know. He prefers to rise late, savoring the quiet moments before the day's demands. Word on the Red Square is that he wakes up late, well past the rooster's crow and the average Muscovite's commute. His mornings are a stark contrast to the bustling city outside. What does a man with all the power in Russia eat for breakfast? You might expect a feast fit for a king. Sources suggest a simple spread cottage cheese, honey, quail eggs. It's a modest meal, yet meticulously prepared. Maybe a little borscht on the side? Who knows? The details are as elusive as the man himself. The point is, even his breakfast screams, "I'm important, but I'm also watching my figure." It's a delicate balance of indulgence and discipline. After breakfast, it's time for work. But work for Putin is unlike any other. But this isn't your average commute with traffic jams and bad radio. This is Putin, remember? His journey to the office is a spectacle in itself. For now, just imagine a motorcade longer than a Siberian winter. A procession of black cars, a symbol of his unyielding power and control over the vast nation. Now, you don't project an aura of icy dominance by slacking on your workout. It takes dedication, discipline, and a relentless pursuit of physical excellence. Putin apparently takes his fitness very seriously. His commitment to staying in peak physical condition is almost legendary. Think of it as less of a gym routine and more of a daily date with his inner KGB agent. Swimming is a favorite. The water provides resistance, making it an excellent full-body workout. It's low impact, great cardio, and perfect for plotting world domination. Each stroke in the water is a step towards maintaining that steely exterior. And the weights? Oh, he lifts those too. Strength training is crucial for building muscle and maintaining that powerful physique. Photos of Putin shirtless and sculpted have become something of a meme. They circulate widely, showcasing his physical prowess. But behind those muscles is a message. This is a man in control, a man who commands respect and exudes power, a man who could probably bench press your car. His strength is not just for show, it's a testament to his unwavering determination. But it's not all about physical strength. Mental fortitude is equally important. Putin is said to be a practitioner of judo, a martial art that emphasizes discipline and leverage. It's a sport that requires both mental and physical agility. It's almost too on the nose, isn't it? The discipline and strategy of judo mirror his approach to leadership. A man who controls a country with iron fists also likes to grapple in his spare time. It's a fitting metaphor for his life. Always in control, always prepared. Let's talk about food. Not just any food, but the kind that graces the table of the most powerful man in Russia. Specifically, the food that goes into the mouth of the man who could probably end the world with a strongly worded memo. Yes, we're talking about Vladimir Putin. Putin, as you might imagine, isn't exactly whipping up a bowl of instant borscht. His meals are a far cry from the simple, everyday fare. He has a personal chef, of course he does. But this isn't just any chef. This is a culinary ninja, trained to spot a poisoned pierogi at 100 paces, a master of the culinary arts and a guardian of the plate. Every ingredient is meticulously sourced, vetted, and probably blessed by a priest. The level of scrutiny is unparalleled. From the freshest vegetables to the finest cuts of meat, nothing is left to chance. Every step is taken to ensure the utmost safety and quality. Because when you're the leader of Russia, a bad bowl of soup can be a one-way ticket to a very long vacation in Siberia. The stakes are incredibly high, but the paranoia doesn't stop at food. The security measures extend beyond the kitchen. Putin is rumored to have a team of tasters who sample his meals before he even looks at them. Talk about trust issues. These tasters are the unsung heroes of the dining experience. But hey, when you're at the top, everyone's a suspect. The atmosphere is one of constant vigilance and caution. Even the guy who makes a mean beef stroganoff. In this world, trust is a rare commodity, and every meal is a calculated risk. After his breakfast of champions, or whatever the Russian equivalent of that is, Putin gets down to business. And by business, we mean running an entire country. From his desk, he controls the levers of power, making decisions that affect millions. He's also got a bit of a reputation as an information micromanager. Imagine getting every single email, news article, and cat video that comes out of Russia filtered through your desk. That's Putin's life. Some might call it being a control freak. Others might call it staying informed. Either way, it's clear that Putin wants to know everything that's going on in his domain. He's like that one friend who always spoils the movie before you've seen it. Except, with nukes. Section 5. A Tsar's Solitude. Now, you might think that a man with so much power would be surrounded by friends, family, and maybe a few court jesters to lighten the mood. Not Putin. He's notoriously private, a lone wolf at the top of the food chain. He has his daughters, of course, but their lives are shrouded in secrecy. And then there are the dogs. Putin loves his dogs. He's famous for bringing them to meetings, letting them roam free in the Kremlin, and generally treating them like the royalty they probably think they are. Maybe it's the company they provide, or maybe it's just that unconditional love that only a good boy or girl can give. Whatever it is, it's a rare glimpse into the softer side of a man who's usually all business. Section 6. The Iron Curtain of Luxury. Let's not forget, Putin's also living the good life. And by good life, we mean a life of unimaginable wealth and luxury. We're talking palaces, yachts, and a watch collection that could probably rival the GDP of a small nation. There's the infamous Putin's Palace, a sprawling estate on the Black Sea that reportedly cost billions to build. Then there's the yacht, because what's a dictator without a giant boat to sail around on? And the watches? Don't even get us started on the watches. It's a level of extravagance that's hard to fathom, especially when you consider the economic struggles of everyday Russians. It's like Marie Antoinette saying, "Let them eat cake, but with more Fabergé eggs." Section 7. Whispers of Dissent. But it's not all sunshine and caviar in Putin's Russia. Despite the tight control he exerts, there are whispers of dissent, cracks in the facade of power. People are starting to ask questions, to wonder if the price of stability is worth the cost of their freedom. Protests, though often swiftly silenced, are becoming more frequent. The internet, while heavily monitored, still provides a platform for people to voice their frustrations and share information the government would rather keep hidden. It's a delicate dance, this balancing act between control and dissent. Putin is a master of the game, but even masters make mistakes. And when you're dealing with a population as large and diverse as Russia's, it's only a matter of time before the pressure builds to a boiling point. So there you have it, a glimpse into the life of Vladimir Putin, a man who seems to have it all: power, wealth, and a really nice watch collection. But at what cost? The isolation, the constant paranoia, the knowledge that every bite of food could be your last? It's a lonely existence at the top, especially when you've built walls so high that no one can get close enough to see the man behind the curtain. Maybe he's happy with his dogs and his vast fortune. Maybe the weight of his power is a burden he's come to accept. Or maybe, just maybe, he longs for something more, something genuine, something real. But that's a story for another day. As Putin continues his reign, the world watches with bated breath. What will become of Russia under his leadership? Will he be remembered as a strong man who brought stability to a nation in turmoil, or as an autocrat who sacrificed freedom for personal gain? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, Vladimir Putin's legacy is far from written. He remains enigmatic, a puzzle box of contradictions. He is a man who seems both utterly ordinary and terrifyingly powerful. He is a man who has shaped the destiny of a nation and perhaps the world. And as we peer into the gilded cage of his existence, we can't help but wonder, is he truly the master of his fate or a prisoner of his own making? While Putin enjoys his luxurious life, it's important to remember the stark contrast with the lives of ordinary Russians. Many struggle to make ends meet, facing economic hardship and limited opportunities. The gap between the haves and have-nots is vast, a chasm that seems to widen with each passing year. And while Putin surrounds himself with opulence and security, many of his citizens yearn for a different kind of freedom. The freedom from want, from fear, from oppression. The world is watching, Mr. Putin, and the world is waiting to see what choices you will make, not just for yourself, but for the millions of lives entrusted to your care. As we conclude our journey into the world of Vladimir Putin, one question lingers. What does it mean to hold so much power, yet be so utterly alone? To live in a gilded cage of your own making, surrounded by luxury but starved for genuine connection? Perhaps that is the true price of power, the sacrifice of the very things that make us human, the freedom to walk among the people, to share in their joys and sorrows, to experience life without the constant burden of control. In the end, Vladimir Putin's story is a cautionary tale. A reminder that power, like wealth, can be a double-edged sword. It can bring security and comfort, but it can also isolate and corrupt. And sometimes the loneliest place on earth is at the very top. That's our show for tonight.